have you come up to the microphone. I'm gonna figure this out. Hi!
Hello.
Hello! So I'll just relay everything that's coming in. You can let me know if it makes sense or not. Be completely honest. But I feel like I have to talk about some parents for you. And I feel like I gotta talk about either mom and dad or, no, I think it's mom and dad. Are they passed?
Yes.
Okay. I've got to talk about, in the way this comes across, your mom being adorable. Adorable. I see like cheesy, like the attention she's getting right now. Let me tell you, I feel like she's basking in it in the funniest way. It's another example of just because someone is small does not mean that they are not mighty, okay? This woman comes through like a force. She's super cute and very much, she's giving me the feeling of trying to figure out where she is. Like, I don't know, where am I? It's a very funny thing, but it's definitely like a personality thing in the way this comes across. With your dad's situation, your dad, in the way this is coming across, is giving me this feeling of wanting to acknowledge being with your mother. So how long were they together?
They were going to be, God, what does 1946 make it in the past?
Long.
65 years they were together.
Jeez, okay, gotcha. Because he comes across, basically, your dad with this kind of a very strong sense of humor and kind of not wanting to take things too seriously. And I feel like even towards the end of his life, he gives me this feeling of like, it's just life. Life happens. Very matter of fact. I feel like if people knew what he had seen and gone through in life, they'd be like, death is not a big deal. Like, death ain't nothing, is the way I would describe it when it comes to the strength of this man.
Yes.
I feel like with what he had to endure. When we talked earlier about synchronicity, I want you to keep this in mind, that there is a synchronicity related to his earlier years that has happened, and I'm going to try to figure it out by the end of our reading, but just give me one sec. Because I do feel like in the way this is coming in, you need to keep in mind I feel like I have to highlight a sister for you, but living, okay? There's a situation around your sister currently, okay? And I feel like they want me to bring it up. I'm going to put this as delicately as I can because it's important to be a straight shooter, but I also want to put it kind of carefully. There may be a situation with your sister's health where somebody has to step in. And family might end up even having to make a decision or figure something out. It doesn't feel super, super serious, okay? So it's not like, I don't see her going anywhere necessarily. But I think she might need help that she might not realize she needs on some level, okay? Do you understand this at all?
Absolutely.
Okay. It's one of those things where might be a little bit like pulling teeth, but I feel like it's important in that capacity. Anytime I see a Christmas tree, it just usually means that somebody died around Christmas time. So can you validate that?
My dad died at December 20th.
There you go. Okay. Gotcha. I just want you to know in the way this comes across, they were never right after this tragedy. This is a weird thing. There's another individual who's with them that I need to highlight for you. And this person passed away really young. Do you know who this is?
My brother.
I want you to know he's not limited to what he went through, but I feel like your parents were never the same after this happened. Like, literally never the same.
No.
I don't know if somebody had photos out and then after he died, they couldn't even have the photos out. They had to, like, put them somewhere else. But there's kind of this feeling of, like, it's so bad I can't even process it, like, on your parents. And either people didn't want to talk about it or have a discussion. I don't want the reminders of it. It's that kind of feeling. They come through together so close, okay? And then for you personally, I just want you to know, energetically, I feel like I have to highlight that things are looking good for you. You're on the verge of a really good change. And, I just want you to know when it comes to your love life, they come through with a sense of validation around your love life and what you decide to do moving forward. In whatever way. The symbol that I get for a big life change is very often like a bunch, this is so hard to explain, but a bunch of lines expanding. And in your case, I see one big line. And in the way this is coming across, I kind of think you're either on the verge of like a big career change or making the jump in that department. And I think it's something that's been kind of either percolating or you've thought about, hasn't been done yet, but it will be. And when it does, it might be a little painful initially, but it will be worth it. And I need you to know that in some capacity. It may not make sense right now, but it will, I promise you. Okay.
It's already making sense. All of it.
I
All
love
of it.
it.
I'm like, my mother was 4'11", and she had this big smile. Anybody who knew my mother,
Yeah.
My dad's nickname for her was Sunshine.
Aw.
And she was the mighty woman. I mean, she could move the refrigerator, and she could do everything. I mean,
Yeah.
And my dad, when you said that he had a rough beginning, I mean, he was a prisoner of World War II, was tortured, and was almost executed.
Oh my God.
And but he was a jokester. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like he even made jokes about getting old, like kind of in a funny, like, oh, tongue in cheek, like, oh, what's death? You know,
Absolutely.
that kind of thing. So please know
Absolutely.
he is so proud of you, what you've done, and if you're on the verge of this big career change, just do it now with a little bit more confidence, because you're on the right path. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. I love that. That's so stinking cute. That was really, really special. And I love when that comes in. It's just validation. They know often what we're planning, big life changes. It's not just birthdays, death dates, anniversaries that get referenced. I believe that when we pray to our loved ones and tell them about our anxieties, our fears, our hopes, I believe that that really does strengthen the bond. I'm a big believer in prayer. I believe in a higher power. And I think that there's great value in just having those quiet or maybe conversations that you have when you're alone. You can say them out loud, but with your loved ones, because they do hear these things, and I believe that they often will even bring them up in readings.
If you would like the chance to have a private one-on-one reading with me, consider joining my membership site, The Collective, at the link in the description below. I give away a private reading or do a live group reading every week.